People kill for a whole lot of different reasons.
You may not have memory, but you do have quite the imagination.
So, first of all, thank you so much for speaking with me today. I'm Tyler Nichols from JoBlo.com, and I'm a big fan of your work.
Oh, thank you very much. Much appreciated.
And so your first appearance in the film, you were really put through the acting ringer. You had to say a bunch of science terms, speak in multiple languages, and on top of that, you had to do it all in an American accent. So when you see that kind of challenge on the page, what's your first thought?
Sorry, there was a really loud noise in my house there that really scared me. Don't know what that was. When I saw that on the page, I think I was really excited. I was like, oh, that's a bit of a challenge to learn 5 different languages and talk about classical music that I'd never heard of and all this stuff. The hardest part, though, was that I went to Australia and then we did a night shoot and I filmed all of that at the end of the night shoot, and it must have been about 5 a.m. and so I don't remember doing it.
Well, you definitely come across very well in the actual movie, so you wouldn't be able to tell that it was at the end of a night shoot.
That's good to know. Thank you.
Well, and your character also has a bit of duality to her, with her innocence being played with throughout the film. And so does that make each individual take for you as an actor more interesting, just because you can affect so much of how the audience perceives the story with just the littlest things that you do in the frame?
You know, I don't really think about it from that perspective of like, okay, I'm gonna like throw the audience off or anything like that, even though you're absolutely right that like people can read into everything because they're looking for all the clues. Yeah. But from my perspective, I'm just like thinking about what the character wants in that moment and how she's going about trying to get that. And that's basically all I'm ever really thinking about. And with her, she's interesting because she uses interesting methods to sort of go for what she wants, like assuming different personalities and vibes and sort of morphing into what people might want her to be and in a sort of interestingly manipulative way.
Yeah. Well, and do you prefer to play these darker characters like because I would consider Laura Baines to be pretty dark.
Me too. Yeah, I do like that kind of thing. That is what interests me. Yeah, I have a lot of fun with that. I had a lot of fun sort of researching that and figuring out what type of person she is and why she wears these masks and what happened to her to sort of make her develop in that way. And plus it was fun because I think she's the type of person that like listens to people that she deems to be intellectuals on like YouTube and stuff and then emulates them. So I kind of did a bit of that.
Richard Finn, he was at the crime scene. Why is that? What about Laura? She's got no address, no social media, nothing.
There was always people visiting the house.
It's a bit strange. It's like everyone from Rita's life is now a ghost.
Well, and I have to ask too, since the manipulation is a big part of your character, did you take any inspiration from Elizabeth Holmes? Because I felt like those people they had a lot of parallels.
That's interesting. No, I didn't actually. Even though I did take inspiration from her for a different role that I played in a different movie. So I am very interested in her, and maybe some of that seeped in by accident, but I certainly didn't set out to do that. I was watching Jordan Peterson a lot on, this is no comment on who I think Jordan Peterson is as a person. It's more that I think my character would watch him because he's the sort of intellectual of the moment, despite how anyone feels about him, and it's so I think he's the type of person that she would set out to maybe emulate a little bit in terms of demeanor.
Well, and Russell Crowe is such a tour de force, both in this and pretty much in everything that he ever does. Were there any kernels of wisdom, like acting wisdom, that you were able to get from him?
I mean, yeah, but not like not like words. More just like watching him work was a big kernel of wisdom, and just sort of absorbing it and being around it, going, oh, that's how you do it, and that's your process, and seeing how sort of generous he is as an actor, like working hard off camera to help his scene partner get to where they need to get. He's quite good at identifying where that person's trying to go and really sort of like aiding that.
Yeah. Well, and you always seem to be finding yourself in different genres. And so which genre is your favorite to act in?
Ooh, it's interesting. It doesn't, like, what I like acting in isn't necessarily what I like want to watch sometimes. And so there's not like a direct continuation there. But ultimately, I don't actually care about the genre very much in terms of acting, because I'm a little bit like, my process is the same for any genre. Like I'm not like doing it differently if it's a comedy versus a horror film. It's like, actually, I'm just trying to be truthful every single time. And I'm almost like, fuck the genre. I can't swear. Oh no.
You're good.
Screw the genre when I'm acting. But when I'm watching things, I have my favorite genres. That's different.
Well, as someone that absolutely loved you in Oculus, I really hope to see you back in the horror genre more often. So,
well, horror is my jam for watching, and that would be probably one of my favorite genres.
Oh, well, awesome. Hopefully we can see you work with Mike Flanagan again, because he's got a lot of interesting projects coming up. So
you will. We've already made Life of Chuck, which is based on a Stephen King short.
Yay! I'm so glad to hear that. Well, thank you so much for talking with me today. This has been absolutely wonderful. You have a great rest of your day.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Cheers.